That's great. So were you cattle shopping yesterday, or just kind of hanging out? Just hanging out?
Didn't do anything.
Really?
We came in here and we had lunch.
Yeah. Well, the intro stuff I'm just going to do later. We're just going to talk then.
Right.
You just want to talk? Oh, so I don't have to stick to the script?
Great.
Well, what do you want to talk about then? Talk about you coming out here then?
Sure, whatever.
We'll start talking.
We just
start
talk.
talking like you talk.
We just talk.
Well, then what are you doing out here then so early?
Well,
recently we got the chance to sit down and talk with Randy Owen of Alabama, and we talked about everything from politics to going fishing. And we'd like to share that interview right now. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. I don't want to share anything. I don't want to share nothing.
5, 4, 3.
Recently, we got the chance to sit down and talk with Alabama's Randy Owen, and we talked about everything from politics to going fishing. And we'd like you to get to know Randy Owen, the man, right now. It's the first time you've been out on the West Coast this year?
in a while.
Yeah, wow.
We came out for the award show in LA, but actually it's different in LA than it is up here. This is my favorite city in California. I was telling some of the crew, I said, well, it's good to be back home. We started 11 years ago. It'd always been a dream of mine. My daddy and I used to chase cattle around over all these little small farms in northern Alabama. And of course, my daddy was my hero. I love my daddy, and I had the misfortune of losing him at a very early age. And it's kind of like an extension, you know, when things begin to happen for me. It was like, this is something that I started for my daddy, and, you know, I'm a cowboy, let's face it, that's what I am, I'm a cowboy. I mean, I grew up a cowboy, I still am a cowboy. We feel like that we're very good caretakers of the land. That's one of my big things is conservation and planting the right crops, and we are into, we raise a lot of wildlife, deer, turkeys, quail, Canadian geese, mallards. We're in the process of, we're going to be doing another video.
What do you talk to the president about? Is he talking about music?
We talk about whatever the president wants to talk about.
I guess so.
I think that country music has so much to gain from the fact that we have a president that loves country music. We need to take advantage of that and not use that situation. But I mean, we need to all understand what an honor it is, and you know, who knows who may be the next president. You know, they may not want to have Alabama come up and do the presidential picnic. They may want somebody else. And I have the world's worst boat. I have this little bitty aluminum boat that's got a little trolling motor, and it doesn't hook up right on the back. So I have, I get out and troll around in it, you know. People see me in this boat and they think, that can't be Randy Owen.
Right, of course not. No, not with that
he
little
wouldn't have a boat like that.
Sure, sure.
And I have a paddle that's split.
You don't want to get that fixed, though. No, no.
Well, I did say the other day, I told my son, I said, we're going to have to change this. We've got to get a new set of paddles. And he said, it's about time. No, they have a normal life in school. They have normal friends. They have, they go to public school. They make real good grades, but they're kids. They're mean.
You got a mean daddy, that's why. No.
Daddy taught them well, yeah. My son just turned 10 years old, and that's real important to me right now. He made All-Stars in baseball for the second year in a row. My girls are beautiful, too. Allison's 13. She received an award from the governor of Alabama because of her academics. The little one is 2 years old, and she has Flossie, and she has Peter Pan. Peter Pan's the kitten. Flossie's the little bulldog. I've had goals all my life. One of the goals was that if by the time I was 30, if nothing was going with my music career, I was going to go ahead and get my doctorate and do whatever I do in life. But of course I didn't have to reach that milestone, thank God. I mean, things started happening in music before I was 30. And I've had other goals, but I had actually planned when I was 40, which I'm 41 now, I had planned to do things a little bit differently, but the music business is so good to me that, and of course I've had a lot of coaxing. Let's keep going.
about your cattle raising? What kind of cattle do you raise?
I raise registered poll Hereford cattle. That's the red cows that have the white face with no horns. That's what the word polled means, is they don't have horns. And of course, every once in a while there'll be some of them that have horns. I may not wear a hat, but I do wear a hat sometimes. I never felt comfortable wearing a hat.
Yeah.
I move around a little bit too much on stage to keep a hat on my head.
Just a little bit, just a touch, just a touch.
And I'm nervous, so I guess that.
Well, what are you going to do this cattle thing for the rest of your life? Is that something you can always go home to?
I hope.
Yeah.
We have about 1,200 acres, which is not a big ranch, but we have about 1,200 acres back home. And it's near a place called Little River Canyon, which is one of the most scenic areas in the world in northeastern Alabama, and that's where I grew up, of course. My mother lives about a quarter of a mile from my house, and hopefully that's something I can continue because I love it. I love the adventure of going out on the ranch with the horses and the cows. And
do you have much privacy with all that?
Oh yeah, because it's totally my own little world, so to speak, and I have I don't know, several lakes there that I fish in. And we stock the lakes, and we also very much into the bluebirds and cardinals, which is two of my favorite birds. I also like the yellow finches and of course the mockingbird. One of the things that we noticed back years ago, my cousin and I, which we were raised together, his name is Jackie Owen, we were raised up together, was that there was a very short amount of bluebirds. So he got to reading up on it and found out that there were little boxes like this high that you can make, and the opening is just the right size for bluebirds. So he started making these on his off time. He's a painter by trade, and so we started putting these boxes all over the farm. Now when you drive down the lanes there, we have bluebirds everywhere. Oh, how wonderful. And along with the bluebirds came the cardinals. And along with the cardinals came lots of the finches. And along with all these came the quail. And then along with all that came the Canadian geese. It's all a circle. It's just like it's all nature, you know, and the conservation type ways that we try to treat the land. That's fabulous. And also along with all that came the deer. And the last thing to really show up, well, not the last thing, then we had the turkeys. Then the last thing that really showed up was the red-tailed hawk. Which is something that, when I was growing up, I'd never seen a red-tailed hawk. Really? And I was out on the ranch last year and noticed that I saw this thing flying around, and when the sun flashed up on the tail, you could see the red-tailed hawk. It's a bright red. And I got really excited about that, and because that's something that we tend to forget, that animals live in this earth like we do. And, yes, we do. I've always been interested in that, and thank God I've had an opportunity to because of music, to hopefully make it a nicer place to live. Let's talk about the music. There's something that a lot of the new artists are doing, and that's releasing a video before releasing the single. Now, Alabama doesn't tend to do that. You know, you've had some big #1 hits, and you haven't had any videos to them. Is there a reason for that, or you just don't have the time? Well, I think there's a number of reasons. Maybe that they're not all real, or they should be, but our thinking is, to a certain degree, first of all, lots of people have seen us. Lots of people have seen our videos. Lots of people have heard our music. And it has to do with overkill, so to speak. You know, I think that we still go out and tour, and we do shows, and we do records, and we love that. We're not sure if the money that's spent on videos is worth what it actually accomplishes as far as promoting the records. Or the artists, because, you know, we've been around for about 10 years, so that's, and we're very grateful, and we thank God for the success. We just want to keep it. And one of the things, and as we're speaking, we're in the process of, we're going to be doing another video. But if we do a video, you know, we want to be happy that we took the ride, so to speak, such as what we did with Pass It On Down. That was, in our opinion, and that's the people we have to live with, is ourselves, that it is something worth doing, and it's not just standing in front of a camera. even though that situation may present itself. But if it does, that will be what we feel like should be done at the time. But that video was something that hopefully can be kept around for a long period of time because it says something that, you know, we're not preaching to people about this is all, we have all the answers. It's just that we're trying to bring about awareness. And we're proud of that video, and we want to be proud of all of our videos. There's been a couple that we've done that we weren't proud of, and we try to be more creative. Hello? Bye-bye.
Well, now you hang out with President Bush a lot. President Bush has called you a lot. What do you guys talk about? What do you talk to the president about? Is he talking about music or?
Yes. We talk about whatever the president wants to talk about.
I guess so. What's his favorite Alabama song?
I don't know if he has one.
Really?
I got to tell you, I'm a very simple person. I was raised on the farm. Grew up as poor as you can grow up and still exist. And to be able to be so lucky to play music for a living is, first of all, very lucky.
Right.
I think the thing I've always liked about President Bush is the fact that he loves his family. He loves his wife. He's very proud of his grandkids. I'm very much into those kind of things as far as the guy that runs the country. This is the greatest country in the world, and I just like those things. I like the fact that he's a very energetic person. I like many things about it with him. I disagree on some of the issues that he does, as I do with many politicians, but at the same time, I'm very much a Bush supporter. His wife's a lovely lady. I just feel like that they're the people for the job. I have nothing personally against the caucus or anything like that. But you know, it's kind of like in our home state, we had a gubernatorial race, and I did something there that I'd never done before. And we hosted a reception for Governor Hunt, and to help with his reelection. Right. But he's very, once again, he's in the same mold as President Bush. He's a guy that's into family and those kind of things. And as far as party politics, I really don't play party politics. I play if I play, it's personal. Person politics. You know, it's personal. I vote for whoever I want to vote for. And I know the thing that we did recently, we went up and did the presidential picnic. But at the same time, you know, we met a lot of people there that represent the state of Alabama. What we like to do is be able to talk to people that make decisions when we have our hearts right. That being that we're not there to try to do something for ourselves, but to maybe make things better for other people. And if we can do that by playing a free show for somebody, then that's what I want to be remembered for, is doing things like that rather than just give me more money. Yeah, right. There's a lot more to life than that. And I think that country music has so much to gain from the fact that we have a president that loves country music.
Would you yourself have any political ambition at all? Or maybe after the music career is over?
I've been asked that a few times.
Have you? And what's your answer that you always answer?
My answer is, there is, right now there's just no way that I can do so much more for mankind not running for an office or being part of, and that's the only reason I'd want to be a politician. Is or being in office. And if I was to run, I don't think I could ever be elected because I wouldn't run on a party. Okay. Right now, I'd be independent. I don't think you can be elected probably like that. I just feel like it's much better to go about through channels to talk to the people that are in power and make suggestions to them, whether they listen to you or not. You do it in a very nice, professional way, and that's what I'd rather do right now. It's just, and then go fishing.
Then go fishing. When you get a chance to go fishing.
Well, I get a chance to go whenever I want to because we have all those lakes like we were talking about earlier.
Well, you know, everybody knows the good things about being Randy O of Alabama. We see your star status, we see what you do. What's the downside of being Randy Owen of Alabama for you?
Well, there's really no need to talk about. There's the good overshadows the bad.
It does.
And the thing that everybody should do is to really work on the positive things in their life, whatever that is. And that's what I try to do. And I have my feelings hurt like everybody else. And I have cute things said or terrible things said that aren't true or whatever. And it stings for a while, but then really all I have to do is just kind of turn around and look and say, you're the luckiest man that's ever been. And just go on and kind of, as my daddy used to say, I get victory over that.
Good. Yeah. That's great. That's great. I don't know if that's all I wanted to ask.